Welcome to Muskegon Rising, a community service project of the Muskegon Rotary Club. Our purpose is to create lasting positive change. We've been doing that here since 1916. So, let's get started.
Hi, I'm Gabe Gerlach, Rotarian and Muskegon YMCA CEO, and today I have the new president of the Muskegon Lakeshore Chamber of Commerce with me. We're going to talk about what makes Muskegon so special. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you, Gabe. Yes, my name is Rachel Gorman. I am on week 6, I think, of being the new president and CEO of your Muskegon Lakeshore Chamber of Commerce.
That's amazing. 6 weeks in.
6 weeks, yes. I keep saying the building's still standing and bills are getting paid, and that's my new focus.
I was told once that when you take on leadership positions, your main jobs are to stop bad things from happening and to make good things happen.
Yes, 100%. I totally now resonate with that more than ever before. So, yeah.
No, I love that. So, can you tell us about your team?
Yes.
And the team that you have and how you guys are using their unique talents to kind of foster a great community here in Muskegon.
Yeah. So first I'll just talk about kind of the structure of the chamber because I feel like a lot of people and new Rotarians that get asked to be on board, it's like, this is like that nonprofit 101 structure that maybe they didn't realize. So I am an elected officer of the organization. So that's dictated through our bylaws. So I am like your elected president of the organization. So then I report directly to a board of directors. So that we have a 15-member board right now. Our bylaws dictate can't ever be less than 10, can't be more than 17. Board of directors that are nominated by the members and then voted on through our nominating, or I should say, approved by our nominating committee and then voted on by the board of directors to join the board. So that's who I report to. And actually every year I have a new boss. So the board chair of the chamber board that year, that's who I directly then report to. So I do my performance evaluation with them. They, tell me if I'm doing a good job or tell me my areas of opportunities. So I'm the one employee they're responsible for. So then kind of the filter, then I oversee then all of the chamber staff individually. So the board doesn't have a say in the daily operations. That's how our organization's governed. So yeah, I have an amazing team of 6, and I'm so proud to work with them all every day. They represent just such a great reflection of our community, but also just there's some great chamber longevity there. I've got some staff that were there when I was an intern, so that's really fun for Marie, our accountant, who has seen me since 21 to now 33. And then we've got newer staff members that have just joined within the last year, but chamber staff are really special people that understand the call to duty to serve our community. And so I'm just really excited about the team I have that's so energized to support the small business community. So Kira Schindeldecker is our director of membership, and she comes to us with a real estate background. So that is such a tool on our team right now because she understands the Lakeshore region, but then especially where Muskegon falls into that. And then Lyndon Peterson is our director of events. Most people know him too. He came to us from a government-focused staffing perspective, so that's really cool to have him leading events with a different eye. And then Kelly Stone, who I have to also shout out to. Kelly was a chamber intern like me, and so she is our director of marketing as well. But in between the internship and full-time with us now, she's had a couple different experiences too. Again, just bring great perspective. But like I said, the team, we've done a lot of work together as a team. So I came back to the chamber as chief operating officer a year ago. So it was a great opportunity for me to come on as a peer, get to know everybody, but they've been so great through this transition of really before maybe I was even ready, really treating me as their new supervisor, leader, and putting a lot of trust in my direction already. So I'm so thrilled to have them, and our members are so lucky to have such an incredible staff.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
I would say a small but mighty team.
Small
I know what
but
that's
mighty
like.
Team, absolutely, yes.
I love that. And it's so important to have a good team too.
Yeah.
Do you is that common? Because it seemed like there were at least a couple people, like you said, who had been there for a really long time or who had started as interns and then, bounced out and back in. Is that like typical for a change, or is it just the culture that you've created over time?
We like to say in the chamber world, when you've seen one chamber, you've seen one chamber, because we're all so different. So I would say, especially with leadership in chamber industry, you will see your president CEO probably there for a long time, and I plan to be there for a long time. But staff, it's what's funny is you're in a position where you have exposure to so many opportunities. And I've talked to my team about this, like if they have an opportunity to go somewhere that fills their passion and their purpose, like you have to take that opportunity. I just hope while I have them on my team that those buckets are being filled while we're on our team. So we've done a lot of work in the last 6 months, identifying and putting to words some new core values that we have as a team. So one of them, which is my favorite, is at the Muskegon Lakeshore Chamber of Commerce, we love Muskegon, past, present, and future. And so it's helped us as we've onboarded new team members put a different lens on like, hey, this is who we have declared we are as a team. Do we feel like this candidate also reflects those values? So it's making new additions to our team very purposeful, and everybody has a different kind of buy-in because we created these core values together. And so I hope, what's appropriate that teams, if they, we hold on to employees for as long as they want to, but also it's not uncommon to see chamber staff jump to really amazing opportunities within Muskegon. So, and I'm just there to support them.
That's great. Well, you're growing talent, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And that's important.
Yeah.
Because it only benefits the community more.
Absolutely.
So speaking of the community, Muskegon has a unique identity and community spirit. In your view, what makes Muskegon really special? And how do you plan to highlight these qualities to attract businesses and then visitors?
I should say, what makes Muskegon so special is the people here. And then we have this amazing combination, though, of natural beauty, natural amenities, and an incredibly diverse workforce. So, gone are the days that I was growing up in, right, where it was this deep transition within our community of large manufacturing pulling away, industry specifically on our waterfront moving away and leaving us in this time of transition of what's going to happen. So, Gabe and I feel like definitely take this seriously, like stand, on the shoulders of the people before us that really established, like, not just the identity of Muskegon, but like this resilience that like I feel like we take very seriously. Like we're very proud to work in Muskegon. We're very proud to support the workforce that works in Muskegon. And so I keep saying this like, yeah, it's West Michigan nice, but like Muskegon real. And I think that's turned into such a value proposition for our community is like we say how it is. But Muskegon, like we also show up for each other in really tangible ways consistently. And I think that's what makes our community so special. And chamber members of any organization like really reflect that as well, much like Rotarians. Like we show up for our community because we're so proud of what we have here and the people that are here and the new people that are coming here. And that's what a lot of my job is, welcoming newcomers to Muskegon, putting them in my car and showing them Muskegon Lake and introducing them to this wonderful lakefront community. And you too could live here. But once, they're here for a while, when we check in with them, what we hear a lot is like, oh, I can't believe how friendly Rotary is. Like just, okay, at lunch and all of a sudden I've got a new group of people that want to know how I'm doing, want to help me get plugged in the community. And I think throughout the Lakeshore, we're hearing that that's not the same in other communities. And that's something really special about Muskegon that I know won't change. I think it's just going to keep getting better.
I love that. I'm definitely going to steal the West Michigan nice, but Muskegon real. Yeah. It's perfect.
It's perfect. Yeah.
It really is. And I completely agree with you. The people here are so just welcoming and they get things done.
Yes.
If you put something out there or if a gap is identified, you just do it.
Right.
You meet it, you fill it. That is very unique.
And I think that the asterisk that you and I understand too is the collaboration piece of that. So we get it done, but we're not a fan of duplicating efforts. And so because we're also connected, so another thing, 1 degree of separation in Muskegon. If I don't do it, I probably know who does, and start there before you create a new nonprofit that actually does something very similar, right? And I think it's really special that we're in a community where maybe someone approaches you with a problem and a solution that you have an opportunity to fill, and it's not exactly what you do, but the willingness of Muskegon to pivot slightly to encompass that is really, really powerful. And again, we don't see this duplication of efforts that we see in other communities. And other communities, I think, really acknowledge that about Muskegon, that we're really willing to offer our hand and say, oh, yeah, we can help you out.
I like that. And yes, it is really all about the collaboration. There's been a number of times, hey, Rachel, who does this? Or can you connect me here? Who should I talk to about this? Because I don't know what I don't know. Yeah. And you do, or someone else does.
And that's what I love about my job, honestly, is connecting people to resources or opportunities that just see a need, see a desire, and bringing them together. It's the best.
Well, you're very good at it. We're lucky to have you on our team. Speaking of that, I know I was trying to think, you did one of the chamber events recently with the breakfast, and I wasn't able to attend, but you talked about an aggressive 10-year plan.
Yes.
What are some of the key initiatives that you really want to implement here?
Okay. Yes, thank you for asking because I'm so pumped and fired up about this 10-year vision. So like I said, our team, we put in a lot of work in the last 7 months. So for those listening that know, your chamber is running on EOS. So that is called the Entrepreneurial Operating System. And so many of our member businesses have been running on EOS since like 2018. That's when I for sure became aware of it. And really, I don't want to say it's the new thing, but it is a newer tool that really consolidates a lot of the books we've all read about how to manage a team, how to have a successful team, but into 6 very simple principles. But together, again, as a team, we've identified these core values as employees of what we bring to the chamber. But what I think is really special about chamber, our core values, is that it's also really reflective of our members. So on our team, you love Muskegon. Our members, they also love Muskegon. So once we established the who are we, we did what many of you know to do. It's just like, okay, but what are we working towards? And I'm a highly competitive, super motivated by a goal person. So I was super proud of the team that we spent days kind of working on this vision statement. So we proclaimed this year that in 2035, the Muskegon Lakeshore Chamber of Commerce will be a nationally award-winning chamber with 1,500 members who's looked at as a resource for driving success in the business community in a prosperous Muskegon County. So again, I'm fired up about that because it's tangible, it's visionary. Again, clear goals for our team of how we're going to grow our membership, but also opportunities to make sure the work we're doing is valuable to our members and also something that's going to be recognized by our country. And I think especially when we talk about the national recognition piece, we know we can get there because our chamber has already been there. In 2016, with the Watch Muskegon campaign, we were a finalist for Chamber of the Year. We got Chamber of the Year in our state association. So we have a history, a legacy of success. And so I take very seriously carrying that on. And so knowing that the chamber's best days are still ahead. And again, the team and the members are so excited about that. And my board of directors, I couldn't be more grateful that they put a lot of faith in me, and they're also very motivated by it too. So, it's just one of those and to the point I'm like, and here it is. And I was like, and what do you guys think? And they did start clapping. So I was like, okay, cool. But it's something too, the more we think on days, because it's a 10-year vision statement. We're going to be looking at this for a while. It continues to motivate and inspire. And that was the goal. So yeah, we're really excited about it.
I love that. And the desire to build awareness for Muskegon too, and what the ramifications of that long term.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's a history, but we don't want to let that go.
Right.
You only coast downhill.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Right?
Exactly.
How are we motivating and building and growing upon the beauty that is here and then bragging about it?
Right.
Which is not always the easiest thing.
It's not.
But you and your team are clearly very good at it, which is important.
And that's the kind of the thing, when you look at some chamber legacy projects, and chambers in general that kind of live in the world of collaboration and being a catalyst for change in your community, we're really good at identifying a problem, finding a solution, and then handing it off to the appropriate person, not holding on to things. So yeah, we had zero interest in running the farmers market forever, but we had a lot of interest, in being part of the conveners to make sure that moved to a location that made a lot of sense. And so some of the partnerships we're involved in workforce talent education right now. Yeah, I am not a K through 12 educator, and I don't need to be, but I'm happy to help walk alongside our educators with our business community, find solutions, but really qualified workers in their pipeline. And then we find the next opportunity in our community to focus on.
I love that. All right. So if we've got this aggressive vision, we're going to hit it in 10 years.
We're totally going to hit it.
I have total confidence that that's going to happen. What challenges do you see? What are the roadblocks?
Well, I think one challenge that's happening now, you and I are living it every day, is just especially with my transition highlighting the leadership transition that's happening in Muskegon, coincided then with this immense technology transition, industry transition. But I think I see it as opportunity, and I think a lot of us do. And Cindy and I talked about this a lot during that transition, that we had members talk to us and just say, oh my gosh, what a great transition, especially Cindy's peers kind of saying, I see a path and I could do this too. I can't imagine, being at the end of a 30-year career and you're thinking about what do I do next, but also who's going to take care of this thing I've poured my life into? So again, just so grateful to Cindy's mentorship, but the board for seeing that I did carry that responsibility seriously. And I do view it as part of my job. Then the new leaders coming in of our members, to wrap my arm around their shoulder and say, like, hey, we're in this together. Like, we need to work together well for the next 10 to 20 years. And I know we can do that. But not even just moving alongside with me, but providing the historical perspective. They might know, their company history and their industry history, but like we're all part of just this larger world within Muskegon, and we can't have a successful business community without a successful education and government functioning, local government, providing a strong business climate for everyone, but also for residents to live and be successful here. So we're all in it together. And so I think that's the biggest challenge, is getting all the people together with a shared vision. Because again, like we just said, that's a huge strength of our community. And then just technology has changed. The fact that you and I can sit here and this is a video that people are going to watch later, like that's crazy. And I think I just heard some stat from a futurist, whatever that means. I could be a futurist, right? But I think they were saying like by like 2035, like 75% of the jobs then are not even, we don't even know what they are right now. They're not even in existence now. So going into everyday, right, with that mindset of like, because I can't believe how fast I've been to like, oh, but we used to do it this way. And it's, oh my gosh, we can't always live in that world. Like we have to change to be malleable. So, yeah.
So do you have any words of wisdom for people who maybe are becoming new leaders or maybe they're thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
Thinking about taking on a leadership space in our community or within their business or maybe within a community group or nonprofit.
Yeah. I loved when people ask me like, oh, how do I get involved? I'm like, oh my gosh. In Muskegon, all you have to do is raise your hand. And it's going to be snatched up before you even finish extending it. But I think there's a lot of power in volunteerism and finding what you're passionate about. And so I always tell people before you say yes to a board, like, what do you want to do? What are you passionate about? Because time is a non-renewable resource that we all have. So your time is super valuable. And so to me, the best return on your time is if you can align your professional skill set with your personal passion. I think that's just, you're going to be the best board member to anyone. And then I think those board experiences give you so much, different knowledge and exposure to perhaps a world you don't work in every day, but the people, again, in Muskegon that you're going to meet. And then one thing leads to another. And so, especially for younger people, it's like, hey, take your time. Like, we all didn't get here overnight, but before you know it, the power of relationships in Muskegon, like, you're going to be on your way. And so I think taking advantage of our community's willingness to embrace new leaders, new ideas is really, really powerful and is a critical tool for success for people starting their leadership journey or honestly, people that like, I had to take a break. I had to take a break during COVID and focus on me, but I'm ready to jump back in. There's never a bad time to get involved.
I love that. And you're right. I mean, we have a board as well. Ours is 14 members, and those people are so critical to just keeping us focused and driving our mission and ensuring that we are being the best versions of ourselves and filling the gaps where it makes sense.
Right.
Like you said, right? We don't need to duplicate a service, but if we have a skill set and we're really good at something and somebody needs that, let's do it together.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Why not?
You do a great job too.
Thank you. As the up-and-coming leaders right here at the table.
Yes, thank God.
I appreciate that. All right. So if we had like a takeaway, what would you want our Rotarians here who are already passionate about and love Muskegon? Because I think that's something we all share in. How can we show that love of Muskegon? What should we be doing?
Okay. And this is true because I'm so grateful for Rotarian leadership specifically that's already doing if you would have asked me this a year ago, I would have had a similar answer. But it's been very clear to a younger demographic of Rotary how much the leadership is really trying to accommodate our view of the world. And not like, here's how we think you should run the meetings, but like genuinely picking up on our just inquisitive nature of like, oh, why do we do this? And I'm just so grateful that, we're in an organization where there's a situation where everyone could have just been like, hey, this is the way it is. Like, you guys join, show up for lunch and, sit down and be quiet. And instead, like, we're being asked to do this thorough survey because the board takes it so serious of like, their understanding of time is our demographic is going to be the leadership someday. So I truly am just so grateful that they're taking so seriously, like fostering our relationship and membership with Rotary. And then doing even more on top of that with like Early Act and Interact, just getting ahead of like pulling in the youth into Rotary now. And so, yeah, that's my takeaway is anybody questioning Rotary or wondering, is this a place for me? It is totally a place for you because it's a place for everyone. And I think more than ever in this world, like we're going to find, like people are going to be looking for those safe places where everyone has a voice at the table. And I'm just so proud again to be a Rotarian where our board is taking that very seriously. And it's so obvious to so many of us. And so thank you. I'm very, very grateful.
Well, thank you for coming on and sharing your vision and talking to us about what leadership in our community can look like. I know that I love Muskegon and we love Muskegon, yes. And I'm excited to help in any small way enact your big vision.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.